Hello, good evening. Um, I want to welcome us to this special session. I want to believe that we are all here. Can hear me? So if you are here, just type "I'm here with you." I want to see your comments. I'm here with you. If you are here with me, okay. So let's go. Okay, let me share my screen. Yes, we are good to go. We are good to go. Awesome. Awesome. Amazing. Today we'll be looking at something very important, something that I have a burden for. I've been thinking about this for some months now and decided to practicalize it by actually organizing a training to let people know what they can do to get themselves back on their feet. And the last training was actually a physical event, which was streamed online too. But this time, because of some logistics, we decided to do it fully online. And I'm happy to see us here. I'm very happy to see us here. So we're talking about total body repair 2.0. I've had some cases, I've handled some cases, and I've also experienced some cases where people were totally unable to live the kind of life that they wanted to because of their health. I remember a lady coming to my office after my show on Nigeria Info. I think that was last year, and she said she had almost about 8 to 10 diseases, and she was listing all of them. About 8 to 10 different diseases is unimaginable. And I asked myself, how can someone allow the body to be so degenerated to the point where the body is riddled with all manner of diseases? It is a major challenge. It is a major challenge. And that's the more reason why I decided to put this together to train us on how to restore the body back to health. And I hope that this remaining 3 weeks will be worth it, and it will be worth the money that you paid. Total Body Repair 2.0. Let's go right in. So a little bit about me. As we all know, I am the CEO of TSM Wellness Limited in Nigeria. Our office in Abuja. I'm a stress management coach, a doctor of holistic medicine and ethnomedicine, an energy medicine expert, an international conference speaker, and more. And we're breaking ground. So, why I'm actually introducing myself is to tell you that I am ably qualified to teach you exactly what I'm teaching you now. I have this paper qualification, I have the experience to teach you. So, I want you to trust me with the information you are getting here that is going to help you. And that is why I am here to help you live healthy. Let's move on. So today we're going to do a little bit of an introduction. Today is basically introduction, so we won't take much of our time. In less than 1 hour or in less than 45 minutes, we'll be out of here. I just want to introduce the topic. So from tomorrow, we'll go deep into what we're supposed to learn. We'll dive in, and I'm sure we'll do a lot. We'll cover a lot of ground tomorrow. So, but for today, I'm solely going to do introduction, And we'll leave it at that. If you have questions, you can drop it either here or on WhatsApp, and we'll definitely respond to you. So, Total Body Repair 2.0 is a comprehensive program designed to help you achieve your best physical and mental health. Physical and mental health. So, it's possible for someone to be healthy physically but mentally unhealthy. And that is where stress comes in. That is where depression comes in. So, physically, people are saying you are okay, but mentally, you are gone. Have you heard sometimes people say, he was okay. Oh, I saw him yesterday and he was bubbling. How come he's dead today? Probably the person has lost hope mentally. He has lost hope mentally. So, physically is bubbling, or so to say, but mentally is gone. And the truth is this: the mind controls the body. So once the mind has lost hope, the body is gone. Once the mind has lost hope, the body is gone. I remember a few days ago, I was discussing with a colleague in the office where I'm working, and she was giving me breakdown of the kind of diseases that they've passed through in their family and all that. And in my mind, I was saying that, assuming this person was in Nigeria, I would have died long time ago. Because those diseases, there is no way it would have been diagnosed in Nigeria. There is no way. So there are a lot of people that are walking around. You don't know what they are carrying. You don't know what they are carrying. So our aim in this training is to help you both physically and mentally. And the impact of being well, both physically and mentally, cannot be overemphasized. You are a balanced human being. You are complete. That is what it gives you. So let's go. So the objective of some of the things we are going to learn during this program is to learn how to identify that there is a problem. That is the first thing, to identify that there is a problem and you need to solve that problem. Then the second is to understand the IRR strategy. I developed this strategy and it has helped me, it has helped many of my clients, and I want to teach you how to deploy this strategy to learn how the body works. If you understand how the body works, it is easy for you to actually reverse or initiate the process of healing. Very important. Then, fourthly, to learn how to heal the body using the power of food. Food is a very powerful force, and I want to teach you how to deploy it in healing the body. Then finally, to learn how to use the mind to heal the body. So how do I use my mind to heal the body? It is very important that we learn this. And those are the things we'll be looking at. So at the end of the day, you ask yourself, do I know where the problem is? Can I deploy IRR strategy? Have I learned how the body works? Can I use the power of food to heal my body? Can I learn how to use my mind to heal the body? If you can answer these questions at the end of the training, then we have achieved a lot. Let's go. I have a picture of two cars, two beautiful cars. Of course, one is more beautiful than the other. If I should ask you to choose out of 1 and 2, which one will you choose? I want to see it in the comments. We can't tell. You might think that it's obvious, but it's not obvious. So which one will you want to choose? I want to see it in the comments. 1 or 2. 1 or 2. 1 or 2. Which one will you choose? Which one will you choose? Okay. Yeah. So everybody is saying they will choose 2. Why will you choose 2? Why will you choose 2? Number 1, you are choosing 2 because it is a new car. You are number 2, you are choosing 2 because it is stronger than 1. It is stronger than 1. Well, I'm seeing somebody choosing 1. Well, maybe the person wants to use the car for taxi. You can't tell. So, but every other person is choosing 2. If the car is new, the car is strong, it can take you far, the car will not break down on the way, the car will not disappoint you. Like one is, you can wake up one day, turn on the ignition, and it's not working, it's not moving. So they have to push it. That's what we call push and start. But for two, you are sure that if all things being equal, once you put your key in the ignition, it will definitely answer. That is how the body is. I can use a car to explain the body. Some people's body is like car one, is push and start. One day in the hospital, from one hospital to the other, one sickness to the other, one pain or the other, one pain or the other. Every day you're coming up with different kind of symptoms. You don't even understand your body. The reason is your body is like one. So the purpose of this training is to move you from point 1 to point 2. That is why we are gathered here. That is why this training is so to move you from point 1 to point 2. So even if your car, your body is like this car, the first one, you can refurbish it, change the body, change the engine, change everything, and turn it around. Before you know it, you're asking you, is it not this car that was almost dying? Are you sure this is the same car? That is the same way people ask. You were looking very sick, but now you are brightened up, you are shining. What is the secret? You have refurbished yourself. You have refurbished yourself. So that's the purpose of this training, is to get us to refurbish ourselves. Let me tell you why a car is very similar to the body. That's our own body as a human being now. In the car, you have an engine. And that is where everything happens. Your engine, the engine of the car, can be likened to the heart. So your heart is the engine of the body. Your heart is the engine of the body. If a car knocks engine, no matter what happens, the car will not go anywhere. And it is so scary that if a car knocks engine, there is a problem. There is a serious problem, because you will spend so much money trying to get the car back, and it's not easy. So you see people so afraid of their car knocking engine because of the amount of money they are going to spend. So if your heart is the same as the car engine, it means your heart can actually knock. And that is what they call cardiac arrest or heart failure. So it means the person's heart has gone off. In the car, you have lights, headlights. The headlight of car 2 is different from the headlight of car 1. If you are driving in a thick forest where there are bushes everywhere, you wouldn't want to go with car 1. You want to go with car 2. So same way with the body. There are some people that their eyes cannot see. Their eyes cannot see. Their eyes is so bad they cannot see because of the things that they've done over the years. I'm not talking genetics now, because sometimes it could be inherited from parents. But I'm talking, because of the kind of lifestyle you have subjected the body to, you can't see far anymore. The third thing is this. If this car is diesel engine and you decide to pour fuel through the tank into the car will damage. So why will the car damage? Because it is not built for petrol. It is built for diesel. It is built for diesel, not petrol. So you have to supply it with the appropriate energy that is supposed to run with. You're supposed to supply it with the appropriate material that is supposed to run with. If I decide to pour water through the tank into the car and fill it up with water. Water is good. Water has all the qualities that the car need. In fact, there's a compartment in the car that is filled with water. So, but the problem is this: I'm putting water in the wrong compartment, despite the fact that water is very good. And that is the same way with the body. If you are feeding the body with the wrong things that the body does not need, you are going to subject the body to sickness. If you are feeding the body with all manner of diseases, all manner of bad food, bad diet, bad water, you will come up with different diseases. That is a sure banker. So ask yourself today, which car do you want your body to become? Car 1 or car 2? Very important. There is a strategy I use, which I mentioned before, and I recommend it to people, and it has worked for them. I call it the IRR strategy. IRR strategy. And it is very effective. If you can understand this strategy, your body will begin to heal itself. You will live a healthy life. No matter how the kind of stress you put yourself through, it will not reflect in your body because you understand this strategy. So what is I? Stands for identify. So the first thing is to identify what is making you sick. A lot of people are sick, but they have no idea what is causing the sickness. And they are still feeding the body with what is causing the sickness. And they are expecting a result. I see people telling me that, Doctor, the natural remedy that you recommended, it didn't work. Or I'm still having symptoms. Why are you still having symptoms? It's because you have not identified what is making you sick in the first place. You have not identified it. So how will you get healing when you don't know what is making you sick? So the first strategy, identify what is making you sick. The first R, remove it. And the last R, replace it. So the body cannot entertain vacuum. You cannot say, I want to stop eating bad food, and you're not giving the body good food. You are starving the body and you are killing the body. So if you must remove it, you must replace it. I want you to type it in the comment. Let me be sure you're following me. If you must remove it, you must replace it. Let me see it in the comments. So let's move on. Identify the problem first. Identify the problem first. And that is the first thing I mentioned. Identify the problem. Do you know that there are some people that they are suffering from different sicknesses, and they don't even know what they are suffering from. I remember I was on radio. I think it is Wazobia FM I went to, and because when you go on radio, a lot of people call you to say, doctor, I'm suffering from this. They turn you to, because now an average human being wants something that is free or something that is sharp. Just tell me the solution. Drink 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening, and I'll be fine. Don't tell me to go through a process. So this man called me and was complaining he had erectile dysfunction, so he could not perform well. And I asked him a simple question, because he told me he's been suffering it for almost 5 years now. I asked him a simple question. Have you gone to the clinic to do a diagnosis? Do you know what he told me? He said, no, I've not gone. Guess what? He has visited a lot of traditional healers. He has visited a lot of all these roadside agbo sellers to get a solution. But the only place he is supposed to visit the only place he is supposed to visit to know exactly what the problem is, he has not visited them. And that is a clinic to do a diagnosis or a lab to do a diagnosis. Treatment is useless without diagnosis. Treatment is useless without diagnosis. So if you don't know what is wrong with you, treatment is useless. You will just be beating about the bush. For instance, if I tie your eyes with with a black cloth and ask you to start fighting somebody, I am so sure you will not be able to fight the person. You will not be able to fight the person because, first of all, you don't know who you are fighting. You are covered with darkness. So, diagnosis is a light to whatever you are going through. Diagnosis is the light. If you cannot identify what you are going through, if you cannot pinpoint that this is the issue I have, then you are not ready for treatment. You are not ready to get a solution. Let me give you an example of that man. Do you know that somebody can have erectile dysfunction and it could be infection? One, if it's not infection, it could be diabetes. Maybe the person's sugar level is high. It could be diabetes. If it is not diabetes, it could be varicose vein. If it is not varicose vein, it could be hypertension. The drugs, hypertensive drugs he's taking is not enabling him to perform well. Okay, let's say somebody is taking an hypertensive drug and it's preventing him to perform well in bed. And this person has been going around looking for solution. Do you think any solution that is given to will work? It will not work. Why won't it work? Because he has not identified the problem. So if you can do an analysis and identify the problem, that this is what is causing me problem, or this is why the reason why I'm having this issue, it is easy for you to solve the problem. Another typical example is someone that have ulcer or someone that has ulcer. If you have ulcer and you are eating peppery food, you are eating fried food and hot food. If the food is not hot, you cannot eat it. Meanwhile, you are taking treatment for ulcer. It will not work. It will not work. So you need to, first of all, remove those things that, you first of all identify and remove those things that is causing the pain, so that whatever treatment you are taking can be very effective. This is a very powerful strategy. And if you understand this, you will go a long way. So, in identifying what is making you sick, what are the things that we can come up with? Could be smoking. Many people smoke and it's affecting their health, but they cannot stop the smoking. So, getting a result, it's proving difficult because of the impact of cigarettes in their body. Poor nutrition. They are not eating well, or the food you are eating is a poor diet, doesn't have all the basic nutrients. You are basically eating chaff. I remember I was on radio speaking, that was about 2-3 years ago, and I was describing people that go to Buka to eat. Sometimes I go to Buka, especially when I was in Nigeria, but it's very rare. Very rare. So, and I was describing the situation, the way they make their food, the kind of environment they produce their food, how unhygienic it is. And somebody called into the program that he was heading to one of the Buka to go and eat, and he was listening to me on radio. So he was just analyzing all the things I was saying, and they were all present in the Buka. It was an unhygienic place. There were flies everywhere. The place was totally a mess, and they are dishing out food. I want to say this. Do you know that some of this fast food where we go to eat, many of them, I don't want to mention their names, if you go to the kitchen where they produce this food, you will not eat that food again. Why? Because the control system, the monitoring system in Nigeria is very weak. is very weak. So you can afford to send restaurants and even be dishing out food without any form of control, and nobody cares. People come and they see food and they buy. After buying those food, they have running stomach, they have all manner of stomach problems just because of poor diet. So it is very important that you pay attention to what is going into your mouth. The third point is lack of physical activities, especially if you have to sit down at home, or by virtue of the kind of job you do, it's a sedentary job. So there is no time to move around. You need to actually be deliberate in creating a time to move around. There is an app that I downloaded that helps me to monitor the number of steps I take per day. And consistently for the past 2 weeks, I've been maintaining 10,000 steps per day. Consistently. Maybe after this training, I will drop a link for us to be able to download it. Maybe I'll drop a link in the comments, or I'll put it on the WhatsApp group for us to be able to download it. So you must at least take 5,000 steps every day to be healthy. 5,000 steps every day. So when you take those steps, the body is supplying itself with an adequate amount of serotonin. And serotonin makes you feel good, reduces your stress level, and counters some diseases because it helps to boost your immune system. The fourth one is heavy alcohol. If you are the drinking type, it will be very difficult for you not to encounter diseases, especially if you are a heavy consumer of alcohol. The fifth one is high stress level. You cannot do without this issue of stress is something that a lot of people have come to find themselves, and they have no solution to it. So for you to be able to identify what is making you sick, you must find out, is this stress? Am I under severe stress? Is my job too tedious and is breaking me down? How do I handle this? Very important. In the course of this training, I'm going to show us how to manage stress. Of course, it will be a part of the training. Overeating, lack of sleep, poor diet, or poor hygiene. This issue of lack of sleep is something that we also pay attention to, because when you don't sleep well, it will get to a point the body cannot tell when you want to sleep from when you want to wake up, and before you know what is going on, the person will come down with insomnia. And this is the reason why a lot of people have insomnia, because they don't have the time to go to bed. For instance, if you go to bed, if you train the body to go to bed by 10 o'clock, so it means whatever you are doing, once it's 10, you are on your bed. Gradually, the body will begin to adjust. So once it's 10, the body tells itself that it's time to sleep. And over time, your sleep-wake mechanism, or your circadian rhythm, or what they call the biological clock of the body, will reset. So it knows when to sleep and it knows when to wake up. If you do this consistently, after some time, you can sleep normally and you can sleep very well. Poor hygiene is another thing that makes you sick. Your house must be as clean as possible. Cleanliness is next to godliness, they say. So you can't be living in a very dirty environment and expect that all will be well with you. No. Even if the environment you are living, maybe the area you are living is not too wonderful, your house must be clean, because that is where you sleep, that is where you eat, that is where you do everything. So it must be clean. And do you know that people that live in dirty houses, people that live in unhygienic houses, have the tendency of becoming aggressive? It has been proven so many times that if you live in an environment that is not healthy, that is not organized, you become more aggressive. And you will not even know the reason why you are becoming aggressive, but it's because of what you are going through. So, very important. You need to take care of your environment. Then practice of unsafe sex can actually also lead to different diseases. You're a man and you are sleeping around, or you have multiple sexual partners, you are prone to being sick, or you are prone to having infections. Even as a lady, the same thing. So it's very important that we identify this. There are three things that can make us sick. Three things that can make us sick. And it has been proven over and over again that these things can make us sick. The first one is what? Bad diet. If you can do something about your diet, if you can actually moderate what you eat and what goes into the body, you have reduced your probability of becoming sick by 50%. This is so strategic, this is so powerful that if you don't take it serious, you might be joking with your health. You might be playing with your health. Bad diet. Bad diet. I want to say this. My coming over to UK opened my eyes to a lot of practices, a lot of things that are being sold in Nigeria that are substandard and people are consuming it. You know, when I was in Nigeria, I used to preach against processed food. It is because I've not seen the original processed food. I'm telling you the fact. Right here in the UK, most of their foods are processed and in cans. And the standard is so high that you cannot you cannot fault it in any way. You cannot fault it in any way. And it gives you all the nutrients. So it means that if they tell you there is no addictive in this drink, there is no additive. Take it anywhere, there's no additive. Because if the government finds out that there's addictive in the drink, maybe like all this sugar and all that, they will close down the company. So every food producers, everybody selling food must go through a thorough screening to make sure that what they are producing is the best of standards. I have eaten processed food here and I've eaten processed food in Nigeria. I know the difference. That of Nigeria has no standard. Anything goes. In fact, the taste of that of Nigeria is different. Because number one, the condition, nobody's monitoring it, whether it's expired or it's not expired, or the condition of storage is bad. Do you know that there are some processed food that should not go under the sun? Should be in cold chain. Even here in the UK, it's transported by cold chain. So it is always blocked. And if you want to store it, you store it in a fridge that is minus 20 degrees centigrade. So minus 20 degrees. If at minus zero, it's already blocked. Your freezer is already blocked. Imagine if it is minus 20. So the process of production and the process of transportation is through cold chain. It's never exposed to heat. It's never at any point in time exposed to heat. So why wouldn't they live as long as 90, 100 years? You will come here, you see people that are 100 years old. Some people are more than 100 and they are here. They are healthy. Some of them are walking about. They are not going around in stretchers. Some people are not carrying them around. They are walking on their own because of the way the government is so serious with the food that the people are eating. So if you are in Nigeria, you cannot just leave yourself to chance. You cannot. You cannot afford to leave yourself to chance. You must take your health by your own hands and avoid any food that is processed, because it's not guaranteed that it has gone through cold chain. If you go to all these people that are selling sardine, selling green pea, and some of those things that they are selling, you see they stack it under the sun. They load it under the sun. So, and those are the things you are consuming. Eating poison in the name of food. It is very important that we pay attention to the kind of food we are eating. Go more vegetables. That is what God actually recommended for the body. Go more vegetables. Do more natural stuff. More natural stuff. So it means that if there is a natural alternative, go for it. You understand? Okay, let me give you a typical example. You have your corn. There's corn everywhere. Maybe rainy season, corn will start coming out. And there is the one inside a can. So if you can, don't go for the one inside a can. Go for the one that is natural, the one that is closer to nature. That is the one the body will be able to process. I have seen this so powerfully that when somebody that was so sick, this person had cancer of the liver, and I happened to be the one that was managing it then. Do you know, immediately this my friend, changed his diet from something that is bad to a healthy food made up of fruits and vegetables. Within 2 weeks, there was a radical transformation. A radical transformation of his health. To the point that people were calling me to say, what are you giving to this man? Because if you give the body what it needs, just like giving the car petrol or diesel and making sure that it goes into the petrol tank, if you give the body exactly what it needs, healing will begin to take place. Healing will begin to take place. I hope you are following. Healing will begin to take place. So, if you can sit down and actually ask yourself, why am I sick? Can it be linked to the kind of food I am eating? Can it be linked to the kind of activities I'm engaging in? If you can answer that question very well, and if you can identify those food that anytime you eat it, your body will not remain the same, and avoid them, your body will begin to heal. Some people, despite the fact that their body react to food, certain foods, they still consume it because they don't have choice or they don't know. I remember the first time I ate wheat, the wheat, everybody eats wheat and all that. The first time I ate wheat, I had constipation. So I had to do some study into wheat, and I discovered that it has something called gluten. And my body responds to gluten. My body reacts to gluten. So when I take in anything that have gluten, if I don't take it in small quantity, I take it in a large quantity, I'll definitely have constipation because my body's reacting to that. So there are some certain foods that your body react to. Because you are not aware, you keep taking it and you keep damaging the body. There are also certain diseases that some food aggravates. Certain diseases that some food aggravates. I'm sure that when we are talking about how to use food to heal the body, we're going to mention some of these things. For instance, if someone has cancer and the person is taking sugary food, fatty food, and all that, the cancer will grow and multiply. But if the person decides to start going more natural and switching from processed sugar to natural sugar, the cancer will begin to shrink. So I go to the hospital and I see people that are cancer patients, and they are consuming tea and sugar. In fact, there's a big tin of Milo or Bonvita or any of the chocolate drinks and a big carton of sugar. But they don't know that that sugar is feeding the disease. Someone that has diabetes now has no business with carrots because carrot has high sugar level. It's surprising, but it's true. So someone is diabetic and he wants to go natural, he decides to go for carrot. You are killing yourself. I remember one of the pastors that I used to talk to, I used to consult for. Um, um, he called me one day that he's been doing this fruit fasting and he has been on watermelon for almost 2 weeks. I shouted. I said, quickly go and do your sugar level. Do you know the next day he did the sugar level and it was 6.4. 6.4 is more like pre-diabetes. The person is almost heading to diabetes because 6.4 is the upper level, the upper range. So it means that if somebody is 6.4, if he doesn't watch it, it becomes automatically diabetic because it will definitely move above that. And once it goes above that, you're already dancing in the water of diabetes. The sugar level was so high. So I asked him quickly stop that. And he said it was a nutritionist that recommended it for him. So it is not all fruits, it is not all diets that you see, that you jump into. You must investigate. Is my body, is this diet okay for my body? Does it cause reaction? Have you noticed that when you take some fruits, you feel dizzy? Or when you take some drinks, you feel dizzy? Or you urinate more? That is the body telling you that all is not well with that drink. You should do something about it. Let's go on. The second point is poor lifestyle. The kind of life we live, the kind of things we do. We wake up anytime we want to wake up. We sleep anytime we want to sleep. We just do things without paying attention to the impact it has on the body. Poor lifestyle, is very, very important because it is your body it is affecting. Let's say, for instance, I have overworked myself to the point that I'm not feeling dizzy, or I will sit down and I'm sweating. My body is shaking, vibrating. Is it not a sign to tell you that all is not well, that you should go and rest? Is it not a sign to tell you that the body needs to rest? But you know what? Guess what? We carry on. We carry on as if nothing is happening. So the body goes into hypoglycemia. The sugar level of the body drops drastically. And before you know it, the person is already on his way to the hospital because of poor lifestyle. So you are where you are today because of the lifestyle changes or modification that you have chosen to either ignore or accept. You are where you are today. Let me say it again. Because of the lifestyle changes or modification you have either discarded or rejected and or you accepted. So it's either you accept it or you reject it. That is the sum total of who you are. Then the third thing that makes us sick is high stress levels. When the body is subjected to so much stress, the immune system drops. And once the immune system drops, the person can come down with any disease. Because the immune system is more like the soldiers fighting off whatever disease that you're passing through. So once the immune system is down, the person definitely will come down with different sicknesses. That is the problem with HIV. HIV attacks the immune system. And that's why when somebody has HIV, the person can or must or will or has a high chance of having tuberculosis, of having typhoid, of having malaria. Why? Because the immune system is low. So stress attacks your immune system. And once your immune system is slow, you can come down with any disease. That is why it is very important for you to pay attention to it. Remove the problem. Remove the problem. You have identified the problem. Remove the problem. Walk away from the temptations and stay disciplined. I discovered that the reason why a lot of people don't live healthy is because of lack of discipline. You know very well that you cannot afford to drink that soft drink. But because the sun is high and you were presented with it, you went to a place, might just one bottle of Coke now, and you decide to take it because you are not disciplined. You decide to take it. Or they present you with a bottle of chilled bottle of Coke and a warm water, maybe room temperature bottle water, and say you can take any one. Which one are you likely going to take? Except if you pay attention to your body, you will likely go for the Coke. Number one is sweet, and there's this feeling it gives you. But do you know water is better? So the reason why you are still sick is because you have refused to remove the problem. You are not disciplined enough to remove the problem. You are not disciplined enough to stop taking the food that you are taking. You are not you have not been able to subject the body to that kind of discipline. So when you go to places where maybe they say serve yourself, like all this buffet that they say serve yourself, it is from those points that you know those are living healthy and those that are not living healthy. The ones that are living healthy will go for the fish, we go for chicken, we go for vegetables. But you see the other ones, that is when you know that there's hunger in town. So if you are able to discipline your body, if you are able to say no, you are served with a heavy bowl of eba or fufu, and you are bold enough or you are disciplined enough to say, please, can you cut it into 3 or cut it into 4 and give me a portion? If you are bold enough and disciplined enough to do that, you stay healthy. I have gone to some places where I've offered because I stopped taking soft drinks. I don't take soft drinks. Even here, I still don't take soft drinks. So I've gone to places where I was offered soft drink as the only option, no water. I rejected it because I have disciplined my body to the point where I cannot take anything that can damage my body. I cannot. So I've disciplined my body. I've disciplined myself. Once you are bringing it, I'm already telling you no. So you need to get to that point where you can actually reject something because it can affect your body. There is an adage in Igbo, which I use in describing this very well. They say, well, if correct me if I'm not saying it right. Kama oga donaite called donafo. Simply, instead of the food to be in the pot, let it be in the tummy. And that is why you see some of them, their tummy is already the size of a pot because of the thing they are dumping inside of it. Because of the bad food they are dumping inside of it. So, if you can identify the problem, you must remove the problem. There are certain food I cannot eat, no matter who is presenting it. I will tell you, no, I cannot eat it. Watch anybody who is strong and healthy and is well advanced in age. There is something that is doing. There is something that is doing that other people are not doing. He's paying attention to his health in a very special way, more than other people. So remove the problem. Replace the problem. Replace the problem. If you have removed it, you cannot leave the body to vacuum. You cannot just leave it like, okay, I've stopped drinking, I've stopped smoking, but I'll just be living like that. I will not do anything. No, you can't do that. So as you are removing it, you are replacing it with something that is better. So it means that you need to replace bad diet with good diet. Because the truth is this: if you are somebody that has lived on bad diet over a period of time, the body has become affected. It will take some time for the body to recover. That is what we're trying to explain on the group, that good health is a journey, not an emergency. Good health is a journey, not an emergency. So don't call me and say, doctor, please, I'm having headache, serious headache, front and back. My tummy is paining me. Please give me one natural remedy. Sharp, sharp, let me just take it and I'm well. So we give you natural remedy, you take it, you are well, you go back to your normal life. After some days, you are back again to square one. Have you not seen that there are some people that went for fibroid surgery? They removed the fibroid. After some years, the thing grew back. I have a friend who lost his dad. The dad had cancer of the prostate. Of course, it's been removed, and he was living his normal life, going back to the things he used to do and all that. After some years, he didn't know that the cancer was back, and this time it has spread all over his body. It was just a few months and it was gone. So if you remove bad diet, you must replace it with good diet. Over a period of time, the body will start healing itself. The problem most of us have is we are not patient enough to allow the body to heal itself, because the medical system has designed a way for you to just take treatment on that short period and get adequate results. So that is the way we see everything. If you are sick or you're having one disease condition or the other, you are not patient enough to stay put on a natural remedy until you get results. But that is the way I want us to live. Consistently taking something that can help you. Replace bad lifestyle with good lifestyle. So it means if you're somebody that is always subjecting your body under serious tension, you are not settled, you are always in a hurry to go nowhere. There are some people like that. They are always in a hurry. They are always on the move. In fact, if they are sitting in one place, it's as if they are losing out on what is happening in life. So if that kind of person doesn't learn how to be calm, how to stay well, how to be able to um, um, have peace of mind, he will be sick. So identify the bad lifestyle that you're engaging in. Are you the kind of person that doesn't rest? Are you always eating everything everywhere? They don't serve you food and you reject it, you must eat it. Are you the type of person that opportunity, if you see anything passing you, you grab it? Maybe like you go for a party and they're sharing drinks. You have taken the first bottle, but because the drink is in surplus, you decide to help your body, damaging the body. So you must replace those bad lifestyle with good lifestyle. Then thirdly, you must learn stress management strategies. Very important. And I'm going to teach us subsequently. What is the first action that you take when you have identified the problem and you have removed you have done all the 2 R's? You have identified, you have removed it, you have replaced it. What is the next thing you need to do? You need to do a detoxification. Detoxification is not just body detoxification. There is physical detoxification mental detoxification, and spiritual detoxification. Do you know that somebody can be sick in the body because he's not in good terms with his God? Do you know that? Somebody can be very sick because he's not in good terms with his God. So it is very important that you undergo these various types of detoxification. There are different ways to detoxify the body, which you can find in the book, the ebook I sold at the beginning of the year. There's tea detox. You can start to go on tea throughout the whole day, green tea, black tea, or whatever tea you want to go on. There's water detox. You can start to go on water for the whole day. There's juice detox, like the one we did today. Just juice it or drink water. So what we did today is what is called physical detoxification. There is another type of detoxification called mental detoxification or mental detox. It is mindfulness and meditation. What is mindfulness? Mindfulness is paying attention to how your body is responding to what is happening around it. So there are sometimes, because of what is happening, you start having palpitation. Your heart starts beating very fast. You understand? So that is the way your body is responding to what is happening around it. So if you are not mindful, if you are not careful to pay attention to the body's response, you just move on with your life, thinking nothing is happening. By the end of the day, you discover that there's a large damage that it does. So mindfulness is very important. Mindfulness is when you are eating and you're actually feeling the food in your mouth as you are chewing it, and feeling the food going through your digestive system into your tummy. That is mindfulness. That means paying attention to the things that keeps you healthy. That's mindfulness. Do you know there are some people that eat, they can't even tell when they started eating and when they finish eating? Their mind is not there. Their mind is not there. And scientists have discovered that if you don't pay attention to what you are eating, it might not be digested properly. So you are eating fruits and vegetables as I recommended, but because you are not paying attention, you are not mindful of what you are eating, you are not chewing it properly, you are not feeling it go into your body, you are not feeling it absorbed by your bloodstream to help you live well, you might not get result from it. You might not get result from it. So mindfulness, meditation. Of course, we know what meditation is. Meditation mostly means thinking about something that is positive. And the good thing about it is this: when you think about something that is positive, it begins to reflect in your body. Let me give you a typical example. If I close my eyes and I see myself in a very beautiful place, or I see myself in the seaside and living in a mansion, living well, spending money, having billions of dollars or of pounds or of naira, do you know that my body will begin to calm down? It is happening in my mind, but my body is responding positively to it. So, mental detox. If your mind has been polluted with all manner of evil thoughts, all manner of bad, wicked thoughts, you need to detoxify. Detoxification of the mind is a deliberate action. It's not something you just stumble into. It's a deliberate action, so that whatever evil thoughts enters into the mind cannot stay, because you have cleansed your mind. You have cleansed it of all the evil. So evil cannot stay. So when somebody is telling you about something evil that can damage your thoughts, it doesn't enter your mind. It doesn't enter. Then the last one is spiritual detoxification. How do you detoxify spiritually? By fasting and prayer. It's as simple as that. Fasting and prayer. So when you fast and you pray, you are preparing your whole being and taking it through a detoxification process to present it as a living sacrifice before God. It is very important. So during the course of this program, don't do physical detox and not do mental detox. Or don't do both physical and mental detox and you don't do spiritual detox. Whatever religion you are practicing, you must learn to connect with your God. You must learn to connect with your God. Very important. I have had cases where people, there's this particular lady that had different, I think she was sick. I've forgotten the particular sickness. But do you know what caused that sickness? Her father offended her over 10 years ago, and she refused to forgive the man. Because of that unforgiveness, she was sick. The doctors kept treating and treating and treating. One day, the doctor just called her and said, I think the doctor was a Christian, called her and said, is there anyone in your life that offended you? She said, yes, my father. And the doctor said, do you know that it is possible that we are not getting results because of that? She was so surprised. The doctor got her to forgive the dad, called the dad, asked the dad to pray for her. And immediately she did that, the body started responding to healing. So is it possible that some of the diseases we are going through today is because of one terrible relationship we've had with somebody and we have refused to forgive the person, or we are not in good terms with God? It is very possible. It's not God that is punishing you with that sickness, but it is the body not responding well because the body was created to be attached to God. You understand? So if you detach the body from God, a major vacuum will be created. I hope we get that. What do you hope to achieve during the process of this training? I want you to write it down. So at the end of the training, we are going to evaluate, were we able to meet the target, or were you able to get a solution, or at least understand what is going on and what you need to do to reverse that disease. So write it down. For instance, my blood sugar is very high. I want to bring it down. My blood pressure is very high. I want to bring it down. Write those things down. Write it down. We'll take it off from there. So if you have any questions, as I told you, today is introduction. Tomorrow we'll go a little bit deeper into what we'll be discussing. Mainly, the discussion will be around food and how to use food to treat different diseases. If you have any questions, you can drop it here. Let's say I'll give us 3 minutes or 2 minutes. If there are no questions, then I would call it a day. If there are further questions after now, you can easily drop it in the WhatsApp group and I'll still respond. I'm bound to respond to your questions. So any question? Any question? So while you are dropping the questions, I want you to take this thing very serious. Take it very serious. The 2 points, the 1.0 total body repair 1.0 that we did last year, we had a lot of testimonies. A lot of testimonies. People who were sick, who were written off by doctors. who were written up by doctors. One of the men that came to the event was written up by doctors. Today, the man is healthy. The man doesn't joke with me or any of my products. So why are people so interested in getting our products, despite the fact that the products are not conventional? You understand? You can hardly go to a health shop and you say, give me biodisc. They will be looking at you as if you are talking Greek, or give me energy pendants, or give me energy bracelet, or I want to do detoxification. They'll be looking at you as if you are talking Greek. But we have been sustained because we are getting results. People keep asking for products because we are getting results. So when you get results, it is easy for people to stay glued to you. I have gotten results, and that is why I encourage us to be serious with this training. Be serious with it. Once the time, that's why I dedicated weekends so that at least everybody will be able to attend. So be serious with it. Pay close attention to it, and by God's grace, you will get the much needed results. Thank you very much. So we'll call it a day. See you guys tomorrow.